Melanie Welch, the marketing manager at the Utah Olympic Park, and an athlete here who's a competitive climber, Nathaniel Coleman. How are you guys? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on the show today.
See you.
So you have a big event coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, so it's this week, Thursday and Friday.
Oh, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
So it is called the Psicobloc Masters.
Yeah, Psicobloc Master Series. Yeah,
okay.
You got
Tell me about that. What does it involve?
So it's deep water soloing. I'll let him jump in with some of the kind of the nitty gritties of it, but it's basically the seeding round is going to be on Thursday, and the finals are on Friday.
Okay.
And for more details, you can go to psychocomp.com. But yeah.
Yeah, so 16 competitors get to climb a qualifier route or a seeding route, and the best times will be paired against the worst times on Friday, and it will be head-to-head elimination through 4 rounds.
So it's a bit like dual moguls, where you're both going at the same time, and the spectators can watch you and actually see in real time who is passing up who, right?
Exactly.
On this Psicobloc. And this originally started in Spain, right? Tell me a little bit about the origin of Psicoblocking.
So as far as I know, the person who really put deep water soloing on the map was Chris Sharma, and he's been kind of involved with creating it as a competition.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the first Psicobloc was in Spain. It was over like a river. I'm not sure of the exact city, but the first Psicobloc in Salt Lake was 2 years ago. So this is their 3rd annual Psicobloc.
Yeah, and then the climbing wall that's built over the pool is about 55 feet high. So it's a race format, so they both race up to the top and without any kind of gear.
Wow.
And the first person to the top wins that round.
Okay.
And the only way down is to jump or fall. So that's an added benefit for spectators, for sure.
Right. So once you get to the top, is it a little bit scary that you have to just fall off?
It is really scary.
You can't climb back down. It's a little bit too physically exhausting.
Well, especially with the crowd. If you were to try to climb down, they'd get angry at you.
And you said that you bring in a crowd of about 2,000 people?
Yeah, we get a couple. So over the 2 days, I think we had about 5,500 people there last year.
Wow.
So definitely the finals brings in a really large crowd. And the seating round's a little bit more mellow, but that's my preferred night because you can kind of really get to learn a little bit about the athletes. And this year they'll have a big screen showing some of the action up close and then also telling you a little bit about each of the athletes competing. So I think it's great for people that might not know a ton about climbing,
right?
To really inform them as they're watching. And it's a really cool, and they light up the whole wall because it's done at night.
Wow.
So it's a real kind of spectacular view, just that and alone.
I've always thought of climbing as sort of this introspective sort of me time, almost in a sense. So what is it like to be in this competitive environment where there's crowds and there's this energy, and is that different for you?
It's certainly different, and I kind of grew up being a competitor compared to being outdoors and climbing for yourself. So
okay.
I feel like the energy of the crowd, it helps some people and it doesn't help other people.
And you're one of those types of people that it helps.
That's right.
It encourages you, it makes you feel even stronger.
It does.
Okay, cool. So what is it like when you first start out? I mean, are there steps that you need to take to kind of prepare yourself, stretches you need to do? What is the process?
Yeah, you definitely want to spend some time, like an hour or so, warming up before you get on the wall to try hard. And they have like some obstacles and instruments that you can use to warm up behind the wall.
What kind of instruments would those be?
They have what's called a tread wall. It's like a treadmill but with climbing holds on it, and it's vertical, so you can use that to climb as long as you want. They have a hangboard that you can warm up your fingers with.
Oh, you want to have warmer hands?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you put chalk on your hands for this?
You do.
Okay. So you want to have good traction and grip, and then I've heard that you want to use your legs, or are your arms secondary?
Considering how steep the wall is, your arms will be doing most of the work, but as much weight as you can put into your legs.
You want to.
You want to.
Well, looking at this video, some of it, you're actually hanging from your arms up to the top there. So you don't really have any choice to use your legs in that sort of situation.
Yeah.
And you've competed in this before? This isn't your first time at the Utah Olympic Park?
This is my first time competing at the Utah Olympic Park.
Okay.
I did a Psicobloc in Italy last year.
Oh, very cool. And sometimes they'll have boats, right, that can take you out, and they'll take you to the different locations in different parts of Spain and Italy. Yeah. Tell me about your experience with that.
Well, the only deep water soloing I did in Europe was during the comp, and they had a little walkway that would take you out close to the wall, and then you'd get in a boat and they'd paddle you up to the beginning of the wall, and then you and your competitor would jump off the boat onto the wall and start racing.
Oh,
it was
wow.
pretty exciting. And it was just over a big lake.
That sounds so cool. Do you ever do flips or anything when you jump off or fall off?
No, my specialty is climbing and not really tricks.
It's about the climb.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, what is your favorite part of climbing? What got you started?
My favorite part of climbing is it's like a full body activity. My buddy Palmer Larson, he got me started. He took a summer camp at Momentum Indoor Climbing, and I've been on the team for 10 years now. And
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what it goes.
Wow, it's such a unique sport. It's not something that you hear about very often. Does it feel strange to not have the harness on? Do you feel like you've done something terribly wrong?
Yeah, you kind of get that in the back of your head.
But you know that you'll be okay. But I would think that it would not feel right. It would be very scary.
Yeah, as long as you don't come in with a belly flop or landing on your head, you should be okay.
Yeah.
You know?
But do you also do some climbing with the belay and the harness and everything
for
else
sure.
too? Yeah, so you do a mix of both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to the event. Details, how do we go? Do you go online to register?
Yeah. So tickets are available online at psicocomp.com, which is kind of hard to spell. So also UtahOlympicLegacy.org has tickets.
Okay.
And you can also get them at the door. And there's qualifiers on Wednesday for those athletes that aren't the competitive athletes that want to try to get into the competition. And that's free for people to come up and watch on Wednesday too. So that's kind of a fun way to see the wall begin the action. But really the real comp begins Thursday.
Nice, and probably a lot of falls on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it
definitely.
might be a good time to go hang out.
Yeah, there's always a lot of falls, no matter how good the climbers are.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And even once you said that once you get to the top, your only escape is to fall.
Right.
So inevitably there's going to be some falling.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun, and we look forward to the event.
Thank you.
Much more coming up on the Mountain Morning Show. Stay tuned.